is from Macy J regarding the point system in Siege, which sometimes I saw this in the topic and I was like, point system. I was like, sometimes you just even forget it's a thing. Like, it's just not really something that's spoken about or talked about, and probably rightfully so. Does it even need to be in the game? Is it necessary? Obviously, you would have thrown up the old tweet, and I guess that's maybe the question for you. Do you even need the points? Like, what does it do? What does it accomplish? Is it just meant to be kind of like an archaic holdover from the likes of, the early days of COD where you get 100 XP for a kill?
Yeah, so the original tweet was pretty much critiquing like Tuberel getting, more points than he otherwise should be compared to, other gadget interactions, etc. So he was sort of just pointing out that discrepancy, and then it kind of opened into a larger discussion about the point system as a whole. Is it necessary? What's the actual point of it? And I think the idea of it in its core is actually quite valid, because Siege is an incredibly complex game with a lot of interactions, and it's not, as frag dependent as much as people want to say it is, compared to the likes of a Call of Duty where, KD is like arguably the most important number. In Siege, it isn't. So there needs to be a way to reflect that in game. And so the point system kind of tries to do that, but it often does feel like arbitrary numbers just assigned to different actions and doesn't probably best reflect a player's impact in the game. So I don't have an issue with the system. There probably needs to be something outside of kills to differentiate the scoreboard and reward players that, flex and support. But perhaps it is something that needs to be refined or reworked.
Why do you get more points then for a headshot than planting? Isn't that the point, as you just said? Like, you
exactly.
want to be getting points for these kind of arbitrary actions, planting or denials or whatever, or util usage, and yet you get a headshot, you get more points than that. So I think it's fine. Like, the question being, is it necessary? Probably not necessary. Like, you don't need it, but I think it's a nice thing to have, and it is a good way of sort of indicating, outside of just KDA, if someone's actually being quite useful to the team, and actually doing other roles within the game itself, which obviously Siege is the kind of game where there is actually a lot more happening in terms of util usage and droning and all of these kind of things. So not necessary, but I think it's fine to have, but maybe it could do actually with a bit of a fine-tuning pass over in terms of the points, the way it's distributed. I think that's probably it. And like, also, should the scoreboard then show more stats? Should it show things like plants? What is that? Trades? I don't think you can do trades.
Yeah,
but
you can. Yeah, I mean,
how would you show, like, on the scoreboard?
Yeah, I mean, there's like third-party trackers you can get that have like an enhanced scoreboard, right? So you can see things like, like pretty much Siege GG stats, but in game, like trades.
Is that Overwolf like overlay thing? Yeah.
Or R6 tracker. I can't remember which one does it. Maybe they both do now. Is that something that should maybe be in the game, or is that information overload? Because again, it's important to remember that less than or close to about 50% of people play ranked, and you say the top half of that maybe cares about this stuff. I don't know. It's probably like 20% of the player base. So
do you just do it like CS? I know we always talk about CS.
Oh, with like the toggle?
With the toggle.
And has like
you
basic and advanced.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool. And that would satisfy, like the stat nerds and stuff.
Throwing the cost or whatever. And
yeah. I think it'd be cool. And like that, all that data, as far as I understand, is like, it's already baked in because it links into the esports website. So all that data is being tracked. Perhaps it's not accurate enough or reliable enough to be put into the main build. So it might be something that needs to be more refined. But I think that'd be cool. You could have like util damage. You could have, there's so many interesting stats in Siege.
I thought
you could have like total
damage.
drone time, like all kinds of crazy
just
stuff.
Damage in general, like just as a raw stat, the way it is in CS
Headshot
now.
percentage, like
being able to also sort the leaderboard based on damage or based on, KD or whatever. I think, I mean,
you don't want it to be information overload. That's why like a toggle option would be nice, but maybe something to explore. I don't know.
I think the toggle option would be good. It does mean that Ubisoft would have to go in and under the hood and obviously refine the scoreboard system. Probably due for it, though. It's been a couple of years now since they implemented the current user interface anyway. So, look, points necessary? Probably not, but I think it's fine. I think it just needs to pass over and, improve the scoreboard a little bit. All of these are being tracked, so bring it in.